What is up? Ladies and gentlemen, Oroboro here, and today I'm going to show you my Absolver deck and how to join my school. So if you join my school, you'll be able to use my deck and all of my moves without actually learning them. The problem is you won't be able to edit them, but why would you? It's the perfect deck, and you'll see why in a minute. Our deck is, or our school, I should say, is number 4 in the world at the moment. Technically number 3, because everyone joins the damn drunken school. That's not fair. But yeah, it's really powerful. Everyone that's used it has had a great time. I get about a 90% win ratio with this deck. Obviously, your results may differ, but it's a damn good deck. I've finally crafted this deck over the 2 weeks I've had with the game. And I'd say it's at a pretty perfect state right now, and that's why I made the school and let everyone join. To join the school, however, all you have to do is send me a Steam friend request. The link to my Steam ID will be in the description below, and I'll accept your friend request. You sit down at an altar, go to the social tab, go to your friends list, scroll down to Oroboro, click on school, view school, and then you should be able to join the school from there. So when you do join the school, you get the benefits, obviously, of using my deck. And when you rank up in the school, eventually, you'll be able to get my my Moonlight Greatsword. The River Gladius, which is the last reward. It's pretty sick. You'll also be able to use the Forsaken style if you're not using it on your character already. This deck is basically built around the Forsaken style. So be sure to use it with this deck. Anyways, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Let me show you how it works. So these are my stats. For this build, stats really don't matter too much. I would always recommend sort of an even spread of all the stats like I did. It is note having 8 will is extremely important because it allows us to get 1 shard from 2 parries instead of 1 shard from 3 parries. So definitely try to get that break point. Alright, so here's the deck. I'm going to put the names of the moves on screen for you guys on PS4, just in case you want to recreate the deck. Or you guys on PC who want to modify it. But the first thing you're probably wondering is, Oroboro, why are there no punches in this deck? What the fuck are you doing? Well, this is a kick-only deck, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, kicks are fucking OP. They're really good. They have insane amounts of damage and lots of tracking. And number two is the whole point of the deck is to familiarize your opponent on purpose with your kicks, so you can mix them up with your alternate attacks and feints. So they get sort of familiar with the kick animations, and then you throw out something else to goof them up and get through their defense. A great example of this is my 2 alternate attacks here. I have Illusion Twist Kick and Jumped Spin Kick, which have the same exact startup animation, but they're in fact different kicks at different speeds. So that really messes people up. Very nice mix-up game. Now let's get into how to really use the deck. You're usually going to want to start in the top right stance. And because we start out with a Jumped Light Kick. Jumped Light Kick is probably one of the best starters in the entire game. It has a lot of speed, a lot of range, and it even beats out sweeps. It's crazy. So have a look. That's going to be your main tool to engage on people. When you're done with your string, when you get a chance to come back and reset, usually want to manually switch back into that stance, just to start it up again. Now, for the very first 3 hits of the basic combo, they're a bit linear. This is on purpose, to mix up our opponent. Most players that I've encountered, they don't bother trying to parry or absorb or dodge the first 2 hits. It's always the 3rd hit. And because of that, I've integrated a nice alternate attack to stop that. So here's what happens. You go for the 1, 2, 3. Those 2 kicks are coming from the same direction. So especially against a Forsaken player, this is extremely effective. You're going to go 1, 2, alternate. Boom. Huge, huge kick from the side. That's 126 damage. Jump spin kick they just took to the face because they tried to parry from the wrong direction. And obviously other styles will be hit by this as well. So that's sort of your main mix-up with the deck. Obviously there's a lot more you can do with feints. Let me show you the absolute full chain here. Just to show you the speed and how nice and fluid this deck combos into itself. Always be sure to gold link your combos for extra speed. And we're back to the start. Very fast, very efficient. You can probably beat most players just by mashing gold links on your normal attacks. You probably won't even have to use alternate attacks. With the smarter players, though, you really need to learn to mix them up. Throw in some side kicks. Throw in some feints. All that jazz. Another great starter, if you're getting jabbed a lot, is from our bottom right. We start with back tripped kick, which is insane speed, avoids high attacks. So if they are like just straight up spamming jabs, it's your go-to starter. Every other situation, you really want to use that jump line kick. Look at that range. It's bonkers. It's really good. And the damage on it is quite good as well for being so fast. Okay, so for defensive purposes, when you do get a parry, what you want to do is you want to buffer your alternate attacks, especially side kick. And side kick will be your alternate from this stance, your top left. So when you are in the defense, if you have time to switch to your top left deck and parry, you want to throw out your attack. You want to parry and throw out your attack. And the second you parry your attack, that side kick is going to connect. You have to buffer it, the input. So you parry and then kick. And even if you miss, the parry should come out. Or the side kick should come out, like that. This one, unfortunately, does not connect on a parry. This attack does, and this attack does not. So, when you are getting pressured on, and you do decide to parry, it is ideal to try to get the side kick punish for maximum damage potential. That is a very important thing on this build. Just the side kick punish is so strong, because none of the other styles really can get damage off of their, you know, dodge or absorb. Yeah, so the deck is quite good. I think that covers most of the barehanded deck. God, I hope you guys like it. I've heard of people in my school having 100+ win streaks with this bad boy. And it doesn't surprise me because this deck is amazing. It really took me a good 2 weeks to perfect it with the help of my chat, obviously. So thank you guys again for that. And for all you guys joining the school, enjoy the deck. Enjoy the hell out of it. I hope you do. For most of you guys, you could probably get away with just that. But we're going to go over the last 2 decks of the school, just in case you want to take advantage of them. My sword deck in particular is extremely efficient. It's very deadly. So this will be our War Gloves deck. Our War Gloves deck is a bit different. It's much slower. It has a lot of hyper armor moves and a lot of mix-up potential. So this is the basic string. Lots of sweeps to get those players who really just love dodging. And then we're back to normal. Again, with the jump like Kickstarter, it's just way too good to pass up. Lots of really nice alternates. Sidekick, of course. Although it is good to note that this sidekick, if you want to punish, is from the opposite side. Instead of the top left, it's coming from the top right alternate. So keep that in mind. What we put on the top left is everyone's favorite Haymaker with hyper armor. It's so good. The charge move is just deadly. And then this move on your bottom right for the alternate. Also with hyper armor. This grab punch, honestly, I think it's probably one of the most broken moves in the game. Because, number one, it has hyper armor. Number two, it does nearly 100 damage. And it just sort of resets the momentum. If you're ever, like, getting pressured, just switch to it. Boom. Pressure's over, and you're back. It's crazy. It's really fucking crazy. And obviously, Haymaker, if you want to throw that out, land that, that's gonna fucking hurt. That's gonna do a lot of damage. Lots of mix-up potential in this deck as well. Lots of extremely powerful alternates and punishes you can take advantage of. But let's get to my personal favorite, the sword deck. This sword deck is the most filthy sword deck you'll probably ever use. It has so much mix-up potential, so much damage. If they block, they're basically dead, because that chip is going to delete their health bar. Now, let me show you how the deck works. So, again, OP jumped like Kickstarter, but then it starts getting interesting. And extremely fast. And we're back to where we started. As you can see, this is just completely stupid how fast some of the attacks come out. Obviously, you're going to want to start with your jump light kicks. And you get some really nice double hits going on. Although they are a bit linear, and it's sort of the same thing with the bare hands deck, or basically the kick deck. Is that you want to abuse the fact that your moves are linear, and your opponents are probably going to try to dodge. So what I did is put a nice sweeping alternate here that will hit anyone trying to dodge that attack. This one, with a double hit. Because of the double hit, you're going to counter things like Haymaker, Cult Style. It's just really nice to have the double hits in this deck. And once you get going, it gets really stupid. This stance in particular has just some of the craziest fast moves you've ever seen. Right here, if you want to sort of get a jab in. Once you start gold linking them, it's pretty stupid how fast those moves come out. And then resets. Very, very nice here. I've heard a lot of good things about people trying the sword deck. They seem to love it, and obviously it's my absolute favorite sword deck. It's so good. Just filthy. Be sure to check it out. I prefer it over the gauntlets, but you can use whatever you like. Alright, well, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this little Absolver video. I'm really enjoying the hell out of Absolver, and I hope you guys enjoy Absolver even more with my OP kick deck. So, yeah. Be sure to go out there and kick some ass. I'm so fucking sorry. Goodbye.